look pretty cute today. Can't wait for the reveal.
Go live.
Oh yeah.
Gotta let me go live. There we go. Going live on the gram. Good morning, everybody. It is Social Surge with Fly and Mo. You're both dancing. Look at the pretty going on. What? Good morning. It is Social Surge with Fly and Mo. Scott is joining us over on the gram. Regalado Real Estate also joining us on the gram. Good morning, everybody. Happy Tuesday after Thanksgiving. Hope everybody survived the
Holly Pennington is joining me on my gram. I'm joining you. What?
Who's joining you on your gram?
Holly Pennington. And Dwayne, DB. They're over on mine. I can't find you.
That's fine.
Although Jaden is looking great. Got a fresh reel from Jaden there, but I'm waiting for.
That's freaking hilarious. I love it. All right, cool. Who else you got over there?
Dwayne and Holly. What up? What up?
That's DB and Holly Pennington over on the gram, on Fly's gram.
I feel responsible for now watching the Instagram comments, which I never do. And then at the end of the show, I'll look over and be like, oh, my dad commented. Justin Rice Moore commented. I'll be like, oh, I haven't seen him in a while. I hope he's doing well over there in the DC. What up, Dwayne?
Yeah, no, Justin pops in on Cup of Joe.
So yeah, which I never do because I always look at my phone and it's you guys have 1 minute left in the show. I'm like, it's not a prime time for me. Even just this morning, rushing out.
Trying to get back into the swing of things. All right, today first of all, I'm Mo Regalado. Over there is Miss Fly Jamerson. And today we are talking about everything that I think everybody is feeling at this point. Happy December. I'm freaking tired of social media. So social media fatigue is real. And today we are talking about how to stay consistent without burning out. So I know that we are feeling pretty, man, it's December.
I had an exchange with the librarian yesterday. We go to the library a lot in my fam. And we were discussing when the due dates, and she was like, this will be due in yada yada, like 2026. And like we both just sort of like froze a little bit and just like looked at each other like and inhaled and exhaled and was, I don't know what it is. I mean, people talk about how ever since COVID that like time seems to have altered.
There's the time has no meaning, right? It has no meaning. And it seems to go faster.
Sorry, what?
So it seems to go faster.
Well, there's also less of it in terms of like if you look at the human utility or like productivity or like as being just during the hours of sunlight, right? Like there's less sunlight, and so things I feel they seem condensed somehow. And then also that just like people are working less. I've seen like 6 or 7 tweets, over the last over the last week, especially where it's like, people are sitting there away messages to January 5th, you know what I mean? Like out of office and, for the next whatever. Or just, or like, well, I'm like work while everyone else is on vacation for the grind set bros, which like, that's a real thing. You know what I mean? There's still business to be won, but I think it was about, because of the length of the time that it takes for people to transact, the deals that are going to close between now and the end of the year, most of them, if not like 99% of them, that's not a real number. What's the opposite of a yumber? I got to cook on that. The deals that are going to close were set in motion, end of Q3.
Thumber.
Beginning of Q4, right? Yeah. And so it's like, the work that's happening, much of the work that's happening now is.
It was set in process months ago.
Yeah. And finishing what you started and trying to get it done. Right. But so it's like the stamina stamina and endurance that it takes for people in this industry to like see something through to the end, like it takes a lot. And you've burned a lot of energy by this time of year. Your circadian rhythm is all out of whack. And being on social media, you know, the physical aspect of that also, you know, we don't talk about the physical exhaustion from social media enough.
No, we don't. And there's actually, so for both you and I, the fact that it's all fun and games. Like it's all fun and games until somebody loses an eyeball. But it really it really comes down to when you are immersed in this basically 24/7. You do get exhausted. It's like, I'm so done. I'm so done with creating content. I'm so done with writing copy. I'm so done with trying to be an entire marketing department for people, right? Like it's exhausting. It can absolutely get exhausting. But for our CRE brokers who are feeling the fatigue, and we know that you are, because I have conversations with you all the time. And yesterday I had a conversation with a good buddy, and he was just like, I've doubled my business in the last year. It's been an amazing year, but I'm tired. And thinking about our social media content and our social media strategy right now is so at the bottom of the list of all the things that I want to do. He's just like, December, do whatever you want. Do whatever you want, Mo. I don't care. Do whatever you want. Just have it done. Just get it done. I was like, sweet. I'm like, I'm doing memes then the entire time. He's like, perfect.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. Well, you do need to find, like, you do. Okay, I know we're here to close some deals, but you know, somebody recently, because this is tangential, but just stick with me, all right? Just hear me out. Somebody recently was complaining or commenting. I'm not going to try to do a portmanteau of that. Sorry, I'm on one today.
I love the fact that you use the word portmanteau.
I love it. I have a graduate degree in literature and history. People forget that about me because I'm a goofball.
It's a great word.
If you don't know what a portmanteau is, it's when you take two words and you shove them together to create a new one. And a tangible example of that completely escapes me right now. Race car. I don't know. That's also a palindrome. Okay, we are
radar, race car, level.
Okay. Somebody was
complaining
about people who play golf as a part of their like business networking strategy. And it was like leaning to, this might have been a week or two ago. But like people, you know, that's a topic that comes up a lot in terms of like, you know, in this business, it's driven by relationships. And there's, you know, the reason I'm bringing this up is like they were saying like they think it's a waste of time. They think it would be more productive if you like weren't doing something recreational attached with your business. And the reason I bring this up is because I do believe that people forget that this is like, it can be fun. And so the seed of this tangent, or the destination of this tangent, is like, you want to spend December just posting memes, freaking do it. You know what I mean? First of all, memes are a brilliant top of funnel content strategy. And, you know, if you just look at any number of accounts, right? But when things start to really feel like you have to white knuckle your way through them for the sake of having content,
right?
Like that's where we start to see this burnout stuff, this exhaustion stuff, this fatigue stuff start to come up, right? Especially at a time when people are entering a period of reflection, people are entering a period of withdrawal, receding, not a recession. I want to say that. It really happens to everyone. I mean, you look at some of the, you know, and it will happen to you. I'm kind of waiting. I hope it doesn't happen to him. But when I look at some of the accounts that I'm not going to name names, sorry. When I look at some of the accounts that have grown a lot in this year, I'm sort of like, okay, at some point they're going to hit the part in the bell curve where they like something something happens and they have to retract.
Yep, they'll have to pull back, and then they'll feel guilty because they're not. It's just this kind of this weird, ugly cycle of you're like, I was posting consistently, I was being active, but now I'm transacting. There's so much stuff going on. What am I going to do? And then they'll disappear for like 3 months, and then they pop back up, and that's okay. It happens. Today, what we wanted to talk about, though, is we wanted to talk about what you can do to combat that social media fatigue, right? So one of the things that I love to do, and I think everybody should do, is look at your greatest hits. Look over the last year and what were some of the best posts that you had, and repurpose that content. Now, I don't want you to post word for word exactly what you posted before. And there's a reason why. And Google talks about duplicate content. And while I have not heard, so Google will actually ding your website if you have duplicate content. So like, say you have a blog post that you wrote a year ago, and then you redo the blog post and it's exactly the same, Google is not gonna put it up on the search as well as it did the first one, because it is duplicate content. They will also, if you decide, because you're so smart, and you decide to go steal somebody else's content to put on your website, Google will ding you for duplicate content. They'll be like, hey, this is somewhere else. Like this actually happens. So yes.
I like raised my hand. I saw a community note recently on X that reminded me of when Brandon Avedikian's like tweet got ripped off, and like sorry, I didn't mean to make you mad.
Okay.
So, but it, and granted, this is not necessarily going to happen, but it was interesting to see a community note that was like, this is a word for word ripoff of this tweet, and they're doing it for engagement farming. They're doing it for farming. And then they linked the original tweet. And like, that's, I love that is a feature that's available on the app for so many reasons. And then also, if something gets community noted and you engaged with it before, you'll get a notification that'd be like something that you engaged with, like had a community note. So that would be a great topic for a future show. But yeah, so I do like both. There is both social repercussions and system repercussions from this duplicate content thing. And I want to start seeing it on the other apps, I guess is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I think that would be great because, well, and there's also, okay, how do I say this? Sometimes there are people who run other people's social media accounts that will, and we've actually seen this happen before. I believe it was Adam Dunn, and I hope Adam doesn't mind me mentioning this, but Adam actually had some of his content stolen by another social media manager that was actually taking Adam's content almost word for word and posting it on other brokers' LinkedIn profiles.
Yep.
And it was so glaringly obviously, well, and just to say, I was at one point Adam's social media manager. He's an inactive client for me on that respect. But, and he does a fabulous job. Like, I'm so proud of him. Like, he's like my boy, right? Like, I'm so excited that he has when we were at CREI Summit, and I found out that there was the guy talking up on stage about how either Adam's post or one of Adam's tweets was shared at, was it the Federal Trade Commission, or no, the Department, was the IRS or revenue or something big. Like, they were sharing his content in a board meeting, and that was freaking huge. I was like, what? This is like, to me, from a social media perspective, that's amazing. That just goes to show you have no idea where you're going to show up and why it's important to cultivate your presence online. Okay, besides that point, I don't like it when I see other accounts using other accounts content, and you know exactly that it's exact same content. Maybe it's just me, maybe it's the ADHD pattern recognition, but I can absolutely see it, and it drives me nuts because it's just like, it doesn't take that much. If you were going to use somebody else's, and I'm not saying do this, please don't do this, but if you're going to take somebody else's content, dude, don't be such a lazy ass and leave it word for word, right? Like, there's AI. Come on, folks. Like, there's no excuse for you to do that. Anyway, off of my soapbox now.
No, I like you up there. Plus, it makes it taller.
We can see you. But it's ridiculous to me that you would be as lazy as that, and it's not even necessarily lazy. It's because you don't understand the client and you don't understand what they're trying to do, and so you're repurposing content between accounts.
Yeah,
is not fine, but that's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about repurposing your own content.
Your own content.
Correct. Because you want to stay top of mind. You want to make sure that you're still showing up in the feed and providing value. So do us a favor, go back through, and now on, especially particularly on LinkedIn, you can actually you can do custom dates, which is great. Go and see what your top posts were for the year. Right. And and it doesn't matter if you only, like, your top post only got 10,000 impressions. That's fine. Use that post, repurpose it, create new content from it. And if you say, Mo, that is too much bandwidth, that's too much mental stuff. Okay. I don't want you using duplicate content, but I don't want you stopping. So maybe change the title, right? Take that post, throw it into AI because you've built your own chat GPT that sounds exactly like you, and say, give me a better hook for this, right? Change out the hook, right? I like you up there.
Plus, it makes you taller. Sorry, I was really pleased with that joke.
Great, I liked it too. But that's the thing. Like, take that content, repurpose it, reuse it, so that you are not spending the rest of December going, oh my gosh, I can't stand this. I don't want to do this anymore. Take a break, take a breather. Just
break. Seriously. And I just, like, I have been thinking about this a lot because I am hobbling my way through Adam Dunn's 100-day sprint. Just like, take me out back, like Old Yeller, like, it's not good. But it's really, not to get on a tangent there, but it's like, you want to know what? 3 days a week is enough.
Yep.
Like 3 days a week is enough, right? And like, I think that when people are high performers, I think that when people have really high standards for themselves, I think when people have been in periods of time, like, you need to look at all of the context of what's happening around you. Like, and I actually made a post about this, I think last week, where it's just like, when people are like, I just need to do more, or like, I'm not like, I haven't been posting every day, or like, getting really like self-negative talk about it. I'm just like, that is the last, unless you are really just like totally screwing around and goofing off and not doing any work, like, there's probably a reason why you have not been able to keep up that cadence. And some of those reasons are natural and important, right? Where it's like, you got to get deals done more so than you need to post on LinkedIn every day. Obviously, one can feed the other, right?
Right.
But at the end of the day, one is a priority. But then it's also an opportunity, and this is what I've been doing, to like relook at your systems of like, so it's like, if you're not able to show up on social media every single day, or like keep up some insane cadence, what would actually allow you to do that? And instead of feeling bad about not being able to accomplish that and like stay consistent and stay on because you're fatigued, like, first of all, if you're fatigued, it's never going to happen. So go get some rest. And then second of all, what would need to be so to be able to accomplish that goal, right? And so it's like, I like the strategic repurposing of content as a part of that system. And then there's a ton of there's so many other things that you can consider as a part of it. But yeah, the beating yourself up business is no bueno.
No, and it happens because you know that this is a very important aspect of your online presence. It's also an important aspect of your marketing to stay up to date. I think we've seen, if anything, we've seen how important it is to show up. I mean, you look at Ryan Serhant has Owning Manhattan season 2 opening up on
Friday, I think.
Friday. And you know, we currently have 2 clients that potentially are going to be on the episode, but we don't know if they ever made it off the cutting room floor, right? Like, we don't know if we know that they spent hours recording, but we just don't know.
Isn't that wild?
Yeah.
They like don't know. Or like, can you imagine like going to the movie premiere and then you're like, oh, my scene was cut. Like, you know, do they still put you in the credits if they like what? I have so many questions.
Oh, that's actually
I never got to that point.
Like, that's a great question. So it's
Dwayne over on Instagram says only 10,000 impressions. LOL. I thought that too. I was like, I better post.
I don't think I've hit 10,000 impressions. I might have. There might be a couple, but I'll have to go back and look. I honestly, impressions don't mean that much to me. I've had posts where I've had like 36 comments on them and only like 3 likes, and the impressions suck, but I'm having conversations with people in the comments. So it's like something about whatever it was that we posted connected, but not enough people liked it. And I'm not worried about the likes. I'm enjoying the commentary that I'm getting. And I have people come back in like 3 weeks later commenting on it. And I'm like, oh shit, hey, there's a new comment on here. Let's go comment. I first have to take a look at the post to see what I posted because I don't remember. Hello, ADHD.
Oh yeah, right. If it was from 3 weeks ago and you're like, what did
I post? What is this about?
What did I say? I do. Every time a new clip from a new short from Social Surge gets posted, I'm like, what did I like? There was one recently, or I watched a show from a couple weeks ago. From 3 weeks ago, I rewatched a show because I was looking for something, and I was like, I have no memory of this, and it was great. I was like generally sitting there watching and being like, that's right. And I was like, what? I said that? It's crazy. And I'm sure I'm going to look back on this one because I do watch the tapes and I'll be like, Fly, what is your, anyway.
What is your major malfunction? We do not have time for that.
But okay. So another future topic to remind myself of when I inevitably watch this in the future to see how many times I made a fool of myself, is what you're talking about, this phenomenon of like not having a lot of impressions, quote unquote, but having high engagement within your circle. That is good. Yep. A lot of my posts are like that. And like theoretically, this is why this happens is because your top of funnel content is going to appeal to a wider range of people and a wider range of people in networks outside of your immediate circle, right? And so you will see more and more impressions on those kinds of posts as you start to focus on something that niches down or is more like personal within your circles. Like every time I do a hat post, those posts for me are very high engagement, low impressions, because that is a very in circle thing.
Right. It's like an inside joke.
Yeah, it's an inside joke, or it's a series that like really like who outside of my immediate friend group or like the CREI community cares about the CRE hat collection, right? It's a very in-group thing. And it's the same thing for like your memes, your top of funnel content that is like, that could be very much applicable to a wide array of industries or people or interests, right? Those are going to naturally get more impressions, and there's a tangent, right? But that to me is actually a really, really good sign if you have high engagement from a lower number of people.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. No, that's exactly it. It means that you are connecting with your audience that you want to connect with. Now, the converse is true. If you have a bunch of people commenting on your content that have nothing to do with your vertical, you're really going to have, so this happens actually a lot on Instagram. You see it more on Instagram than any other platform, but all of a sudden you'll get like a butt ton of comments on a post, and you're like, where are all these people coming from? And at first you're really excited because you're like, oh my gosh, like this went viral. But what really happened is you had some trash bag marketer who decided to throw 100 people at you, and then they jump into your DMs and they're like, hey, did you like that engagement? 100 people of my pod, blah 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 blah. And you're like, no, jackass, I don't like it, because now you screwed up my entire algorithm, and I'm gonna be showing up to people in India that have nothing to do with what I want to sell, right? So doesn't happen as much on other platforms. I do expect it to pop up on LinkedIn, even though LinkedIn has said that they are going to stop that. In fact, if you know of someone who is involved in engagement pods, so engagement pods are groups that you can join. Everybody in the group says, oh yeah, I'll go comment on your stuff to help, make the algorithm go. LinkedIn knows when that's happening, and they will actually penalize you and make your posts go further down the feed or not show them at all to the audience that you actually want to see your content. So please keep that in mind when you have somebody that's like, oh, we can get you 100,000 views. Okay, but is that the audience that I want to be in front of? If it's not the audience that I want to be in front of, then no, thank you. It doesn't help. It doesn't benefit. So back to repurposing your content. So what you can do with your greatest hits. So if you have a really successful reel, look at the different platforms you were on. Maybe you were on TikTok and you had a video that did really well. Take that and do a carousel. So screenshots, right? You can do screenshots with those important points, and you can post that on LinkedIn. You can post that on Instagram as a carousel. Then you can take that and you can make the nuggets that you pulled from there a Twitter thread. And then you can take that and turn it into a LinkedIn post, right? So these are certain ways that you can take and repurpose content across multiple different platforms using a variety of mediums, whether it's just long form, which, by the way, on LinkedIn, long form content is supposed to be doing really, really well according to LinkedIn people.
LinkedIn peeps.
Yeah. Yeah, long form content. The other thing you can do is if you have been slacking on your email marketing and you need to send out an e-newsletter, which also you can make into a LinkedIn article, you can take a viral post, do a newsletter intro, create the clip, and then do a Q&A prompt to help you create the content for that newsletter, right? So thinking about, like, as we talk about the whole marketing ecosystem, right? So now that viral post or whatever it was can become blog content that you're going to make sure is SEO'd, AEO'd, and AIO'd. That's actually another show we need to talk about, is how I actually got a really great PDF on how to organically show up on answer engines.
Yeah.
So super important of how you can start showing up where people, and then there's a whole, sorry, I'm again tangent. There's a whole thing with, and I'm going to be talking about this on Cup of Joe tomorrow, about e-commerce and AI, and how many people used like chat and the other AIs to shop during this season. So it's fascinating the connection between dollars being spent in AI, not actually in AI, but through it as a medium to shop.
I love that. Yeah, there's some tweets going around right now about how, like, because on ChatGPT they have changed it now so that if you have anything that would be flagged as like a mental illness, like you need to be checked out for depression or something, like, so I don't know what you call it, right? But like if it starts picking up that you may be in having some kind of mental health crisis, it'll like try to help you, be like give you the 988 or whatever. But then, so the tweet that's going around is that somebody was like, man, I just can't take it anymore. And then ChatGPT was like, try Kellogg's cornflakes or something. So I don't know.
Which, I mean, cornflakes would make me happy, I suppose. Actually, I haven't had cornflakes in forever.
Anyway, so if there's more to be discussed there.
Yes.
I think also once again, it's very easy to doctor all of that and make it look like it said something that it didn't, right? You have to trust but verify. However, the advertising and the suggestions for products and all of those things and the integrations and all that stuff, like, yeah. Also, people are saying it's like the Truman Show, like in the movie when. So anyway, that's also a lot of that conversation's going on X right now.
Well, and I mean, you look at so I'm a huge Korean drama fan, and so Korean dramas are. What? I have talked about this before. I've just
never heard you say it out loud.
I've said it before. Huge Korean drama fan.
It was just that the way that you said it was like, well, you know me, one of my hallmark characteristics that everybody knows is I'm a huge Korean drama fan. And
I am. And
there's nothing wrong with that at all. It was just the way that you said it caught me off guard because I was like, Mo Regalado. It's like your LinkedIn headline. Mo Regalado,
huge Korean drama. I'm going to change that out. So talking about product placement, because you talked about that, right? And Truman Show. So if you ever watch Korean dramas, they are sponsored by a lot of the products that show up in the show. And so you'll have like the lead character drinking from a bottle of water and they turn sideways.
I love that.
But it's actually so like one of my favorite dramas ever. They actually started getting made fun of in like the last part of the show because they had so many product placements. And like one of them was for like some chicken and beer place. And it was like just a full minute of him going and getting like every other day getting chicken and beer, which by the way, that restaurant is amazing. They have them in New York City and I freaking love it.
I love egregious, conspicuous product placement.
It's freaking hilarious.
In Asian, across Asian media, it's just like dripping, and I love it. I don't know why. It's just like I don't know. It's like you want to know what? It's not trying to get away with something.
I was just gonna say it's because it's transparent. You know it, they know it, we all know it, and it's just a part of it, right? Like when they use there's a coffee called Copico. And it's an instant coffee, which by the way, I do buy because it's delicious. And they also make hard candies, right? And so the person will see it on the table and they'll take one and they'll pop it in their mouth and it'll be like, delicious. It's so funny. Anyway, back to the point of what we're talking about, which is repurposing your content. We could totally repurpose all this content. Take a breath. December is here. Don't stress over your content. Do not be, so in your head about what you're going to post for the rest of the month. Look at what you've done over the past year. Good time to reflect, right? Look over what you've done. Take the top 10 posts, repurpose them, and share them again. Don't be afraid if the content that you're resharing, you're just like, oh, but somebody else they've already seen this. So who cares? You have a new audience. Your audience is new all the time. Not everybody who is in your circle actually gets to see your content.
Also, they forgot about it.
Yep.
They forgot about it. They don't remember. They don't. Yeah. I had this conversation with someone recently. I think I may have actually brought it up already. See, I can't remember. Goldfish attention spans, people. Like, do you remember every single tweet that you liked yesterday? Do you remember the tweets that you liked last week? Seriously, no, like.
I'm trying to think. Yeah, I'm like.
I remember a few, but like just, it's just like you're floating in the ocean, man.
I do remember one from last week. Our good buddy Aaron Harris posted that if anybody needed to get out of like a Thanksgiving situation, he was available to call. And I was like, the man of the people.
Yeah. Well, okay. And then like, most of the other, that's a tweet. That's a memorable tweet. That's a tweet with remembering.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Maybe let's continue this conversation or not on Thursday, but I have to go.
You have to go? Okay. Everybody, thank you so much for joining us here on Social Surge. We'll see you back here on Thursday with a new topic to discuss. And of course, if you have any questions, Fly and I are available in our DMs. We'll see y'all later. Bye.